Good morning, UBS. It's another wonderful rainy morning outside. It's pouring down, and hope you're doing well. I'm just gonna, before I start getting into the content or what we're gonna chat about this morning over coffee, which I haven't had made yet because last week we had only had 2 hours sleep. Jet lag, we're getting back. It's been about 8 days. I reckon by the end of this week we'll be on normal time frame, but mornings are still a challenge. All right, so let's get a couple of hellos. There is a lot more people than last week here today. So we've got Lorraine here who said good morning. I just want to make sure that you can hear me and you can see my screen. I normally will just have the screen of our group up in the background on these Monday mornings because that way I can show you a few things around. Because after all, these calls are aimed at new members so that we can guide them in the best way to utilize the group, but also then so I can show you guys any events that are coming up later on and talk about anything within the group. Hey Adair, nice to see you here. I think we met in Adelaide, so great to have you. And there's a few others here as well. So I'm assuming since you're saying hello that you are you can hear me and see the background of the screen. So just a very quick uh, breakdown, I guess, for those people who are brand new to the group in terms of what to do and not to do. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey, nice to see you as well. And just for those of you that are on the call, you've got your question box. Obviously, some of you are using it already. Now, as I'm talking through, if there is questions that are you already came pre-prepared to ask me, why don't you start typing those up now? Because that way, when I stop, I'm ready to go. Half an hour does fly by so quickly. Stuart and I hosted this last week, and yeah, we could have done so much more. Today, I want to address a little bit about, if when we're not progressing or not taking action in business, why that may be the case and what's going on there. So more and more people are joining us. So let's go through just for the new members. So welcome, new members. So happy to have our group now clicking over and celebrating more than 10,000 members, which is amazing. I guess achievement, but it hasn't been overnight. A lot of people may think, oh yes, she's so lucky to have this group, or that's great, but I could never do that. Look, it didn't happen overnight. It has been, well, close to 2.5 years. So that's half the time I've been in business. So you guys, I've been consistent. I've always kept and doing fresh things. So these coffee chats have started now happening weekly from the time we've come back from overseas. That's something brand new that we want to add value into the group and continue obviously attracting new and high quality and caliber people, because you can grow up a group quickly by just approving every single person into it. Yes, sometimes we do get spammers that get banned, but we don't approve every single person. We do check people who are applying to be part of the group, and that way we keep the quality high. And obviously, if we make a mistake, then we rectify it by banning people and blocking them from the group. So we have changed the theme days. As you can see, I just wanted to freshen that up as well. Usually I'll do that every 6 or so months. And just to go through the theme days very quickly, I changed networking to events because I know a lot of people know of different seminars and workshops that are running. So just like, obviously networking events still apply, and that's why I changed it into that word. So if you do know an event, you're running one, or you want to recommend one or tell people about one, then that's the day. Today's the day to post that up. Something to remember for those of you that may want to get more exposure to your events: when you post, create a post, if you do comment on that post later on in the day, it'll boost that up towards the top of the page so people see it. Because if you put it up now, generally in an hour, it won't be a fresh post, and you can go back and comment on it or say something so that it goes back up to the top of the page. Sometimes we do that obviously we post up in the morning, and we may boost a post of an event we want more people to see towards the evening, because a lot of our people are on first thing now and after 8 p.m. just a little trick and tip that applies all over Facebook, really, not just in a group. So on your personal page, on other groups, whatever. Tuesday, instead of being called hot deal, I thought I'd call it special, just to change it up a little bit. I guess it's the same thing as a hot deal. I just wanted to use a different word. Video day stays on Wednesday. Thursday's brainstorm day rather than mastermind, so like everyone can. I think a lot of people may have been confused by the word mastermind. I know a lot of people know what it is. I thought I'd make it a lighter word and perhaps more people would join in because Thursdays was probably our least interactive day. Friday stays a celebrate. It's always been a great day to do that. I was thinking, what else could we do? What else? I mean, if you guys have any ideas, please let me know because I couldn't think of anything else. And I really like Celebrate Day. I think a lot of people do interact with that one. We're going social on Saturday instead of personal. So, what are you doing socially? Tell us a little bit about yourself. And Sunday is an aha moment. So, what aha moment did you have this week, or could you share an aha moment that perhaps you can impart with the group and they can have one for the day themselves? So, that started off yesterday. So those are the new days. I have put all these into the description field and updated that because I often forget to do both in both places. And I strongly recommend that you guys practice to be there each day putting something on. It doesn't take long. If you're part of a few groups, then do all of your posts in the first thing and you will start building some amazing relationships. The whole point of this is to make sure that you are building relationships and getting to know people and interacting with them regularly so that eventually you can catch up with them offline and or for an online coffee chat if you're not in the same city, and perhaps see how you can collaborate and where you can take it from there. That's what it's about. It's a relationship building and being patient over a long period of time. I always say to people the success that you guys see us having nowadays, it wasn't a result of something that happened in the last 5 or 6 months or that is happening every single day. It's something that has been a work in progress since day one, 5 and a bit years ago when we started out. That was it. Just go out, meet people, keep maintaining those relationships. And I guess in a way, I keep my community of people that I've met all over the country and locally within this group. So therefore, I'm always in touch, and whenever I see people, they know all about me in my life because they've seen it, even though they haven't been interacting with my posts. They see them, they read them, and then ask me about the things that I'm doing when they see me personally. So that's the little brief on for new members and obviously existing members as well. It's good to hear from the person who has created this group how and what. Each week I will think of new tips to give you about how to use the group properly and most profitably and effectively, I guess, for yourselves, so that we can keep it different and so that I'm not repeating and saying the exact same things. But what you will notice is that every week these calls will bring a different flavor because every week I'm in a different mood, I'm in a different mindset. I've learned something new and I want to talk about something different. So and you will also be the same as well, which means that not every call will be completely different. Awesome. Uh, Adair's just said, "Oh my God, just what I needed this morning." I'm not sure what that referred to. That came up a little while ago. Okay, so question time is open, or have tell me what's going on in your world. Would love to know a bit more. But yesterday I put up a post on the aha moment, and I talked about if you're not taking enough action or moving your business towards where you want it to go, what is holding you back? And a lot of the time, and I'll just go through this. I'm seeing a couple of questions come up, but it's the reason is, and I spoke to someone last week. I'm not sure who it was, and obviously I don't want to name them. But this particular person said, "Look, my husband has a very successful business. We're okay with what he's doing, and thus I'm not needing to progress." as fast as if it was really important and my life depended on it. And I said, yeah, and that's right. And there's your answer. I said, because you're not in enough crisis to take the action that's necessary to push yourself and really get yourself out of that comfort zone. And as much as we all don't want to be in crisis. It doesn't have to be crisis that is bad or stressful, as I said in the post. It can be something that a commitment that you make to yourself, and if you break it, that you really are breaking your own rules, and letting yourself down. And that's something, initially my business started out because of crisis, and I've talked about it. And those of you that don't know, my husband Stuart lost a family business we had, a Specsavers franchise, by making a very poor decision, and that really, sort of made my world fall apart, which meant that I had to take responsibility and step up and do lots of things to get ourselves back and moving and progressing forward. So that was crisis that got me to change the whole, I guess, direction of our lives and exactly what we were doing. And we've overcome all of that 5 and a bit years ago, and happily say that we keep progressing. But I keep my zest for taking action and moving forward has not changed at all, because I just keep pushing myself with new boundaries, with new goals and new expectations of myself to achieve a different outcome in my life, and keep, I guess, moving toward the ability to retire, not so much retire, but having a choice by the age of 45. Awesome. All right, so let me see here Adair's question. So how do I get my ass to get into action? Okay, so obviously I've been talking about that, Adair, just then. So you need to create a crisis scenario in your life where, if you don't do something, it's going to it's really going to break your own rules. It's really going to let you down, because you know what, guys, the biggest commitment that we make is the commitment to ourselves. And that's the thing. It for me, it's worse to let myself down than to let others down. And that's what a lot of people get wrong. A lot of people let other people down, let they don't get back to people, or they don't keep their promises to others, and that makes them feel bad. So therefore, they keep making everyone else happy, but themselves. But it really starts from you. So if you keep your commitments to yourself, you will also keep your commitments to other people. It's so much easier then, because the hardest commitment and what you've said to do is to yourself. Because for you, it's like, oh, well, if I haven't done it, there's no one else, no one that will, you know, uh, tell me off, or, just not uh, want to talk to me or whatever. You will keep talking to yourself. So that's what I would say. It's look at yourself and what promises you're making, and keep those promises. Now, one way to do that is obviously by goal setting. And last week, I think was Wednesday, I had a little video to ask you guys, have you set your next 90-day goals? And I showed you my diary and showed you where I set my yearly goals in each of the quarters. And I actually religiously write down the dates in my diary every year, as to what days are gonna set 90-day goals. If you want those dates, they're on the 1st of January, 31st of March, 30th of June, and 30th of September. So those are the days I sit down and write down my goals. And I really review them regularly, and also see, was I on track? Is that still relevant? Sometimes they change, but I can tell you 70 to 80% of the time, my goals tend to stay the same, and they get to be achieved either 100% or 70 to 80% of the way. So I always stretch myself. I don't give myself something that's too unrealistic, but I do stretch myself to feel a little bit like I'm shaking my boots about that specific goal. So that's what I do to keep that commitment to myself, and also then daily work out actions that will see me getting closer towards those goals. And it's not just business goals; it has to be family goals as well as business. I'm just gonna something's appeared on my screen. I'm just gonna get rid of all of these things. I think Stuart's updating my iCal calendar, and all of these notifications are coming up. All right, don't worry about that. Just ignore it. Excellent. All right. So I trust that has that has helped. I know how you might be thinking, oh, goal setting. Here we go again. It might be something that that you've tried before, or you do it, or you may not do it. I'm not sure. But tell me, how many of you on the call do set your goals? Let's have a look here. I've just made my screen go funny. All right. All right. So there's 15 of you on the call here. So let's have a look. You do, yes, you do, Adair. So Adair, tell me, what do you think is holding you back in taking action? What is it that happens that's keeping you stuck, or can I sort of ask, and maybe we can go through that. Elizabeth says, yes, I do, but they keep changing. Yeah, and they're meant to sometimes change. Like, for example, my annual goals, they will definitely stay 70% like I've set them at the start of the year. And make sure you don't have too many goals, because sometimes that can be overwhelmed. And what I always say, a confused mind will always say no. I keep it just to 5, and I really describe them in one good paragraph. So I get one page, A4 page is my 1 year goals, and an A4 page is my each of the quarters. So that's as simple as it is, and it's generally around 3 major areas of my life. I go business and career, obviously financial. That's all in the one. All around the family and social and connections. And then the third one is the health and well-being. Okay, Adair says having too much fun studying and personal development. Yep. So that's thank you for being honest, Adair, because it is fun studying and it's fun developing yourself and all that, but there is a point where you have to do both. And as you said, you are looking for a balance, because when I got onto the personal development journey, and prior to attending my course that I joined, I think I read like 6 books, and watched so many videos and listened to so many webinars, and went to things like leading up to starting this course. But I not knew when I started this particular course that I was gonna have to build my business and actually do both. I still continue to do both. So what I actually put on the side is my social life, and I stopped watching TV for a good 2 years. I did all of those things so that all my time was consumed by building the business and, as you said, studying and personal development, because it's good that you're focusing on personal development, because that's the thing that's going to get you across the line, in terms of you have to have an amazing mindset to build an amazing business. So with that mindset, you're not going to get anywhere, and that's really the core of it, of where it begins. I think for business owners, first of all, it's a personal development journey, and then it's more about strategy and leveraging and doing all those things. So often when you see a business owner in their first year of business, they actually need more life coaching than business coaching, I would say. And as they build their business, say, at least into 50K or more, they need more strategy to get it bigger and to scale it up. So I hope that's giving you a bit of an insight. Okay. And Chris says, set goals, then life changes or something happens and I end up not achieving them. Well, then I would say just adjust it to whatever has changed. Sometimes at the start of the year, I might have said, I want to have done this. And then I look at it 3 or 4 months in, I go, that's really not relevant to where I want to head. One thing I'm going to say, though, guys, I do set 1 or 2. This year I've got 2 big one focused goals. So this year was to buy our new house, which you would have probably seen the other day. We did. So I've achieved that big, hairy, scary goal, obviously, to take on a third mortgage and upsize our home. And obviously, I'm building up our portfolio so we can retire by 45. So that's an overarching big goal, the retirement at 45, which is not going to happen in reality, but by choice, it will be a choice there if I wanted to take a year off, or whatever it is. Um, so that's one that's achieved. And the second one for me was the 60 authors to have seen them through my retreats. Over these next 12 months. And we're pretty much halfway there, with being halfway through the year. I'm a few people off halfway. So, as I said, it's not 100%, but it's probably sitting at about 85, 90% to my big goal. And you never know, by the end of the year, I might be all the way there, or I might be again 80 to 90%. So there's two huge one focus goals that happen. So this year was that. Last year was all about doing that $1 million year. So that was the number one focus around it, and everything, all the actions I did was to create that, or make that happen. So that's how I sort of keep it simple. Some of the other things may change and not become relevant. I hope that's given you an insight. Elaine says, I have done, but not always refer back to them, so I probably lose sight of them. Yeah, so refer back to them at least once a week. But there is a saying that millionaires read their goals daily and billionaires twice a day. I read that somewhere, I heard it. Um, Elizabeth's also added on, this is for Adair, study can be addictive and can be an excuse not to do. Thanks for adding that in. Awesome. Katrina did her 90-day goals on Saturday. It did turn into longer term goals as the line got a bit confused. It became a brainstorm. Fair enough. And Adair's just saying yes and laugh out loud to a few of the things we were probably I was saying earlier. And she says doing that and gym also. Okay, and social life nix, or maybe nil. You meant to say for now. Okay, cool. Feels like I'm maybe on the right track. Cool, thank you, and a couple of congratulations. Um, and Elizabeth says, Natasha, you won't be able to retire at 45. I think the word retirement is what you guys. I don't think maybe you don't get what I'm saying. I'm not going to retire. Come on. I love what I do so much. I can't see myself retiring, or I will change direction to do something different. But look, I was told that I will not ever retire. So, it's not, it's just a funny word. It's not about, I guess when we say retirement, what do we picture? We picture a little old lady who's done her life's work, and now she's ready to just work in the garden or something like that. It's not like that. I'll probably be uh, doing lots of things around the world, and not doing them when I don't feel like it. Um, Lorraine's got a question. Can you repeat what you said? Business coaching required for first 6 to 12 months, then strategy thereafter. Yes. So I think business owners, Lorraine, fresh business owners, in their first year of business, or if and this is more applies if they've never run a business before. So I know yourself, you ran a business before, so you went straight into strategy in your first 12 months because we've worked together. But people who've never had a business before, in those first 12 months, even sometimes up to 2 years, depends how long it takes them to get to 50,000 or more, then I feel they need, well, not just feel, I know from personal experience that they need more life coaching rather than business coaching. So I had life coaching myself when I started out in my first 12 to 18 months, more so than business coaching and strategy from my mentor at the time. And then obviously it changed. So that's what, and now I look out for pretty much niched mentors and coaches that can show me different strategies on how I can further build my business, and that's what I pay and invest to have nowadays. I don't really, if I have mindset stuff happen to me, which can happen to all of us, it doesn't happen as often now than it used to in the first year. But if I do have stuff like that happen, I can generally get myself out of it myself because of certain things that I say to myself, or that I do to get myself to snap out of it and go into a more positive state from an unresourceful one. Awesome. So 5 minutes to go, guys. I've answered all questions that will have come up or comments that were posted. So I'm just going to give you a quick brief of what events are coming up over the next, obviously, few weeks, especially with the UBS, which we are launching it in Sydney. Let me just see. Why is this picture coming up here? Let me get rid of this. How do I hide it? I don't know. Hide post. Okay. I don't know why it's come up so big on here. Awesome. So if I go into the events section of the UBS group, some of you may know it and some of you may not, but I'll show you where our events are listed. So we've got Melbourne here, and what I might do is actually give you the links in the chat box here. So Melbourne's coming up on the 16th of July, which is next Thursday. So would love to see those of you in Melbourne. And actually, Stuart's about to put up a post and let you know, and this will apply for Sydney as well, but let you know that whoever buys a ticket to Melbourne can bring a friend for free. So we're doing one of those months where we want to sort of get heaps of numbers in the room. We have an awesome speaker, Rachel Sheldrick from Newcastle, that she's coming down and she's going to talk to us about the way you experience change in your business. She's also a business owner herself. Her husband and her have a successful auto repair shop, and then she started on being the workshop whisperer. She was having auto repair businesses build up and get their lifestyle back. So what happened was that she built her business to six figures within less than 12 months. So she's going to talk about things that are obviously relevant to everyone in the room, not so much about auto repairing, but that's her story. All right, so Sydney's then coming up 2 days later after Melbourne, and I'll be up in Sydney, and that's why Samantha and I will be launching this, and we have Robert Curry coming to speak at this event as well as us too. So that's on the same day. And then we've got Adelaide with Linda and Adair. You came to, I think you were there at the very first one. And I'm not sure if Linda's got a link. Oh, yes, she does. Okay, so I'm just going to put that link up. And Adelaide's on the same day as Melbourne on the 16th. So it's all happening next week when we're actually meeting offline. And that's happening on the 16th from 6:30 to 9 p.m. So that's the same time actually as the Melbourne one. So what I was going to say is otherwise, if you wanted to catch up with me at one of my events, I am running the Melbourne Author Half Day Workshop that I normally run this Wednesday at Busybird Publishing. If you want more information, please just inbox me. And then I'm in Sydney on the day of the 18th to do that same workshop. And people who come to that morning one can come to the evening one for free. So if you're interested in any of that, then just private message me or send me an email, and I can organize it. But for the UBS events for Melbourne and Sydney, there is a buy one ticket and bring a friend for free. And we also donate to TLC for kids, $5 out of every ticket. So this is, I would say, a non-for-profit event because we pretty much just cover off the costs for what the venue hires, and the rest of it we give to TLC for kids, and that's pretty much we run them because we want to continue having and building those relationships with people that are part of our community, not just online, but taking it offline and being really close, because people who are close end up collaborating or referring to each other. All right, guys, so we are at 9:30. I trust this has been valuable this morning. Thanks so much for coming along and having coffee, which I haven't had yet because I talk too much, but I'm sure I'll be having it soon. And next week, same time, same place. if you have any questions that want to be handled, before the call, also you can inbox me. I'm thinking next week we might talk about those times that we are feeling down and we're having that mindset punk occur in business. I'm not sure. Something else might come up. I can talk about many different topics and answer lots of different questions. So a few thank yous are coming through. Thank you, Adair. Yes, it is great to start the week. It gets me going as well because after usually have 3 days off, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, unless I've got any events, and it's good to get it going, get my talking up, and my brain stimulated. Awesome, excellent. Elizabeth says she'll think of some questions through the week. Yeah. And if there's too many, we'll just split them over the coming weeks. You may have Stuart also next week. We decided that we'd do one alternate weeks as well, depending on where I'm at. So you'll be. I'll just surprise you that way. All right. Thanks for all the thank yous and the feedback, and Elaine's just saying she'll rework those goals again now. You're welcome. Thanks, Tara. Speak to you soon. Bye, guys.